Good morning, Stephanie.
Good to see you.
You too. Um, and to everyone who's watching, welcome to the American Harp Society Giving Tuesday live stream 2021. Um, it is at this point 11 o'clock in Michigan and 10 o'clock in Minnesota. And I am speaking with Minnesota-based Celtic and classical harpist Stephanie Claussen. My first question is, do you have your tea mug handy?
Oh, I'm a coffee person in the morning and tea in the afternoon.
Okay, well,
So,
I thought maybe it was tea all day, but yeah, there it is. Good.
yeah.
And by any chance, did you paint this room?
I It's a good question. No, actually, I had always wanted a yellow harp room, and this one came yellow, so I
Oh, so
left
you
it
didn't
the
have
way.
to paint it. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I painted the closet though.
Oh, good. Okay. What color?
Yellow.
Okay, yellow. Good.
Yeah.
It's in Minnesota. You need that in the winter.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Stephanie is a Harp Society member, and you all are going to be able to hear her live next summer at the 2022 National Conference in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Fingers crossed, and all of the stars aligning. And in the meantime, until then, Stephanie, do you have something you want to talk about the Scottish music and the playing, or what would you like to do this morning?
Oh, well, I thought I would just share one original piece that I wrote, and then I guess it's 3 Scottish tunes from my new book of Celtic music.
Oh, fantastic. That's Mel Bay, isn't it? The
It
book?
is, yeah.
What's the title of the book?
The Road Home from Skye.
Oh, it's great. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
This valley in Scotland, and we'll someday go back.
Originals and transcriptions, right?
These ones are only traditional tunes, but they're all my arrangements.
And when do we get your original works collection? I'm excited about that.
Oh, it may be a while yet.
Okay. So, great. I'm going to mute my microphone, which I have been instructed to do while you perform. And we're delighted. You can say anything you want, do them in any order, whatever you'd like to do.
Sounds good. Okay.
Thanks, Steph.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm going to start off with one that I wrote. And this is from a suite of sketches that I wrote for my dad. This one is called Courageous Conversationalist. And it's just to kind of commemorate the fact that he can talk to anybody for any length of time about any subject. And it's kind of based on the idea of a Scottish march, but I took some liberties with the form. Thank you.
I love that. I can hear the conversations going on.
Good.
And like, they're the same, but they're different, which means that it's your dad all the time, straight through, but all these different things happening. I love it.
Thank
So,
you.
so how did you develop, how did you develop this interest in Scottish music? And you've been to the Edinburgh Festival, right? The Scottish Festival?
Yes, it was very inspiring. I think, Kathy Victorson was my teacher, and we did a lot of work on just Scottish and Irish tunes from the beginning, and I always enjoyed those. And then we have a local Scottish harp competition that's paired with the Highland Games in Minnesota.
Okay.
And so I competed in that several times. And yeah, how did I come back to that? I applied for a grant here in Minnesota, and I thought, what would I like to do the most? From Arts Board, if I get grant money, what should I do? I thought, well, I've been playing this Scottish and Irish music. I should actually go to Scotland and kind of absorb it from the country itself. And that was when I got to go to the Edinburgh Festival. And it was just like, words cannot describe the inspiration.
I can't imagine it because I'm not positive that the Scottish contingent in Minnesota is very large.
There are some of us.
Okay. Maybe I should rephrase that and simply say that perhaps the Scandinavian contingent is larger.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
I think that's great.
Certainly.
So you tell me about your harp too. What are you playing?
Oh, yeah. So this is a Music Maker's Jolie. It's kind of a newer model. It's not their newest anymore. But I had grown up playing a Music Maker's harp. Music Makers is in Stillwater, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And more recently, I had stopped by their shop and played this new harp because they always, whenever they have harpists come in and they have new models, they're like, sit down, play this and tell us what you think. They
great
people's response. And I just loved it and how I could get the sound I wanted out of every range. I didn't have to feel careful in the high end, or I didn't have to really work to get a sound in the bass. So.
Nice, really nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, and I hope we see them next summer too, at the conference because they're close. Stillwater isn't, just an hour west of Minneapolis, so I'm hoping they'll come down too and be there for the conference, which would be great.
Yeah.
So talk to me about these arrangements, these 3 tunes. The next thing you thought you'd play?
Yeah, the next piece that I want to play for you is Rose and Butter, another traditional Scottish tune. This one's a slip jig, which I have developed a love for slip jigs in 9/8, for those of you who don't know. And then I'm going to go into a hornpipe called Jackie Tar, or the Sailor's Hornpipe.
Great.
Okay.
Nice. Those are in the book, right?
They are in the book.
Great.
With
Good.
some slight modifications. If you memorize something and you have it memorized for a while, it kind of,
Yeah,
it moves. But that's
It can-
good with traditional music.
it absolutely, because it keeps it really fresh, which
Yeah.
is good. So, Stephanie, the Harp Society, we've been in Minnesota a few times for national events, and there's a very active chapter, the
Yeah.
Minnesota chapter of the American Harp Society, which I think in 2019 celebrated their 50th anniversary of being a chapter.
Wow.
No, I think that's right. 1969 to 2019. I think we should go back and check.
We should have celebrated it. We didn't do anything.
Well, yeah, it possibly, it was a busy time, I'm sure. But so what drew you to the Harp Society? What and your interest in coming, and you're going to present next summer, which is fantastic. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I feel like there are kind of two phases, because when I was a child, I was involved with the Harp Society pretty much because my harp teacher was saying, here's a great meeting, let's go, I'll drive you, and here are the evaluations, we're going to do those.
The music education auditions and evaluations, yeah.
Yep.
Good.
And I think that I enjoyed it as a child. The evaluations were always a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was a really great opportunity to perform. Yeah. And I think there was an inspiration aspect also, because there's always a recital at the end, and you get to hear all of the other students playing their pieces, which there were definitely times where I heard pieces and I went back to my teacher and I said, I want to learn that. Can I play that yet? So that was as a child. And then I kind of took a break while I was off in college and afterwards. And then when I came back, it was starting my career as a professional harpist. And that was so lovely to have this group of people that was encouraging me and that I could go to and ask questions. I have this gig. What would you do in this circumstance? Or have you ever played the Ceremony of Carols? Do you have harp markings that you can share with me? So as an adult, I found it a really great resource for questions that I have about kind of navigating life as a harpist. And also, I feel like it can get kind of lonely as a harpist. You're doing solo gigs, you're practicing your repertoire yourself, and just having that group of people to connect with is really important to me.
Great. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think that that's always one of the most challenging things for a harpist, is that we exist in isolation a lot of the time, or potentially, we exist with our own kind. a lot. And so the ability to make those connections with other harpists and create a community is something that for us is really important, because we don't have a string quartet. We don't, if it's a harp ensemble, it's all harpists. So we're not meeting, other, like maybe other violinists or violists or cellists or whatever. And so good. That's really exciting. Were you involved with the 2017 Institute in any way? I'm trying to remember.
I did a little bit of volunteering. Yeah, I wasn't presenting at all that time, though.
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
that also was a huge inspiration. I came home from that, I don't know, it's 4 days. And I was just like, I'm going to practice. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to every single event.
Great.
It was wonderful. And I remember I attended the conference that was here when I was 12. I don't remember what year.
Well, 2004.
Like 2004.
2002, 2004, something like that.
It was when I was young, and I remember going to the conference, and I had that same feeling of coming home and just, I'm so excited about practicing, doing things with the harp. It's,
Yeah. See, and that's what we're trying to do today. I mean, part of I think our primary goal, the Harp Society's primary goal today on Giving Tuesday, is to come up with ways that we can create opportunity for other young harpists to come and experience those national events and to meet people in person that you've sort of read about and you've heard about, but maybe you don't know. And it's interesting because Angela Schwarzkopf, who was on air with us earlier this morning, said that her first experience at a national conference, we just kind of blew her little classical music mind, and so I'm really happy that it kind of inspired you too. And the fact that you do both, the classical and the Celtic, the Scottish sort of playing, this is really the crossover aspect there is really cool. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited about having you this summer.
I'm very excited.
I know, I'm really thrilled. And about the opportunity that if we can raise money today to bring other young people to this national event, then they're going to be inspired by you. And I think that that's something that is really exciting. Yes. For me, anyway, it's really exciting. So hopefully for everybody else too. Yes. But the Harp Society does really good things with an incredible number of volunteers who make things happen. And so we're grateful and we're really delighted you're going to be there. And I can't wait to hear you. This is when you do your class, are people encouraged to bring harps to this one? Or what are you going to want them to be able to do for this class?
I was thinking it might be more of a presentation. I haven't quite decided yet, though.
Okay. You have time. You have time to decide. We are going to have a conference ensemble, so there will be lever harpists there, probably with their instruments.
Oh, good to know.
If you decide you want to do something, even a jam, we have space to do jam sessions. We have spaces to do all kinds of things. So.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I know. Yes. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, it's, so much work in real life to get everybody together with their harps and tuned and everything. But that's kind of also the magic of having everyone together and just harps around. It's so much less work to, let's just go over and play this thing and talk about it.
Right. And I think that that's fantastic. And hopefully, again, fingers crossed and that the stars all align. But this conference site in Sioux Falls is perfect for this because, among other things, there's a 4-block area that we walk in downtown from the hotels to the Washington Pavilion. And the street is lined with public art. So there are places to sit, there are benches for people can look at the sculptures, there are places for lever harpists to hang out and play next to art. Anyway, it could be really fun.
I'm getting I'm even more, I knew it's going to be a good time, but I'm getting very excited.
I'm excited too. So is there anything else you want to play from the book before we take off? I know you've got a busy day. You're headed off to teach and do things. And
I could play one more. I have a short one just to end with.
Great. I think that's great. And what I will do is just thank everybody for tuning in. I'm really excited. We're having a great day. Stephanie is one of a series of volunteers who have given us time, to their time today to play on behalf of the Harp Society. And we hope that everybody who's listening and everybody who has read the emails and everybody who believes in the future of the harp and harpists takes a minute today to donate to the Harp Society. It's a crowdsourced funding day. We're not going after big gifts. We're going after membership and individuals and just contributions that all together can make things better for Stephanie and all of the harpists out there who want to pursue this for a career, which she is doing. So fire away, and thanks a million for being here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yes.
Thanks, Stephanie.
All right, this last tune that I'll play for you is called Call the Yows to the Nows, which translates as Call the Sheep to the Hills. And I have kind of a little pattern here that I'll be playing in the right hand. To me, that sort of represents the morning mist over the hills. Thank you so much.